It's nomination night on Big Brother. We are at the beginning of Christmas's reign as head of household, and we also are introducing 3 new powers to the game via the BB basement. Might as well start with the BB basement. 3 powers were up for grabs: the blocker, the disruptor, and I don't remember the name. Oh, the replay. The blocker, disruptor, and replay. They can be used anytime in the next 3 weeks to shake the game up a little bit. Overall, I don't think that these powers are amazing, but under the right circumstances, they could come in pretty handy. So Dani, she got the replay power, and I think that this one is kind of pretty weak. It allows the HOH to play again in the next HOH competition. So to me, this is pretty situational. Like, who would Dani actually use it on? I don't really know. I don't see her winning an HOH here in the next few weeks. But if she does allow her to use it to play again. I really don't think this one's going to have a big impact on the game, but you never know. Next up, we have Christmas, who won the blocker. And if I understand this right, after a veto ceremony, Christmas can use the blocker to prevent one person from being put onto the block at the veto ceremony. So once again, very situational, and one of those things where, it could really backfire on you. So say Christmas wants to protect Enzo, and she knows Enzo is going to be the nomination. So she stands up and says, "Hey, everybody, I use the blocker. I'm going to protect Enzo." And then the HOH looks at Christmas and says, "All right, Christmas, you're nominated." It's just not that great. We also have the disruptor. I like this one a little bit better, but once again has the same issue as the blocker. The disruptor can essentially remove one of the HOH's nominees to give them protection for the week. David won this power, and I'm really hoping that he uses it in a fashion that immediately leads to him just going directly on the block. Once again, so say right now he decides he wants to save one of the people who are currently on the block. He takes them off the block, and then the HOH goes, "All right, that's great. David, you go right on the block." So not amazing powers, but under the right circumstances, they could have impact on the game. I'm going to guess that none of the 3 work out in a significant way that changes the outcome of this game. But still interesting to have the powers in play because you never know what's going to happen. All right, let's move on to the nominations. So Christmas ended up nominating Da'Vonne and Bayleigh. Now, as a fan, I was not very happy about this. We're really running out of people to root for this season. I think I'm rooting for Tyler. I really like Tyler. I liked him on his season. And even though he's kind of in cahoots with all the people that I don't want to win, I still like the guy. So that's who I've decided I'm going to cheer for. But 2 other people who are right behind him were Da'Vonne and Bayleigh. You really just they're just people in the house that you want to see do well. And it's part of the underdog syndrome that they're the underdogs and you got to root for the underdog here. But Christmas really didn't have many options to pick from. She could nominate Da'Vonne, Bayleigh, who she did, and really Kevin and David. That was really the only 4 people that she really could have put up. Everybody else she's working with in some capacity, so it kind of removes them from the equation. I don't view Christmas as the type of game player to really try to shake things up. She very well could have used her HOH to secure a new alliance. There was a clear rift in the house between Dani and Da'Vonne and Bayleigh. Throw Tyler and Cody in there. And there was a big rift there, so it could have been an opportunity for Christmas to say, "Hey, let's team up. Let's take Christmas, Enzo, Bayleigh, Da'Vonne, Tyler," and all of a sudden you got a pretty solid 5 there that could go out and take out people like Cody and Nicole and Dani. Especially when you could just straight up put up Nicole and Dani this week. But that is a very, very risky move, and I'm not surprised at all that we didn't see Christmas do it. So I did touch on that there was a big rift between the Slick Six Alliance. On during the HOH, we saw this members of the Slick Six almost exclusively targeting other members of the Slick Six in the HOH competition, which is what led to Christmas becoming the HOH. Nobody was targeting Christmas. She's not part of the Slick Six, so nobody was putting her up, and it was very bizarre. Like, it was so blatantly obvious. Like when Cody and Dani just directly start targeting Bayleigh and Da'Vonne for who they want to go up in the HOH, it is just a blatant play that says, hey, I am not working with you. All these other people in the house, I'm working with them before I'm working with you. And it kind of has blown up this alliance, and there's really not much left, especially with Da'Vonne and Bayleigh on the block right now, with almost guaranteed that one of them heads out the door on Thursday. All right, I think that's going to wrap things up for tonight. We have the nominees, Bayleigh and Da'Vonne, the three powers. David has the disruptor, Christmas has the blocker, and Dani has the replay power. That's going to wrap things up until Wednesday, when we'll have our veto, where hopefully Da'Vonne and Bayleigh can win to potentially save themselves from the block. And then Thursday, once again, will be our next eviction. All right, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.